if you're the CEO of a, I don't know, 30, 50, $100 million business,
which is about the size,
you've got a layer of management underneath that don't want you to know, because it's there, it's on their,
so they're going to run interference if the CEO comes in. They're going to run interference. Now so, here, go ahead.
Yeah. So you've got to expose that, but in a way that's not. It's not exposing individuals deliberately. What you're doing is showing how that organization structure could work better. And it may well in that process, like I told you with the sales team I worked with, where the sales director was working actively against the founder of the business. I mean, that's just a no-no. So in those situations, it did expose a team of people that were subversive in the business, and that obviously had to be dealt with. But generally speaking, the people in the business, they don't particularly want, they're not deliberately saying, I'm not going to let Larry Dillon know what's going on in my corner. But they don't want to tell you because they know it's not performing. If your business isn't performing, and you're the CEO or the CFO or whatever that organization, and you're under pressure from your shareholders to bring about change, and so you're putting pressure down on your organization to change. Your sales guys, your sales leads, they'll tell you what you want to hear. And they'll keep on saying, no, Larry, don't worry about it. Next year, because we got this different strategy next year, Larry. We're doing it, we're going to sell widgets instead of something else, and we're going to sell it in this way instead of that way. It's bullshit. It won't change. And so you have to be able to lay out it's not that complicated to lay out the causes of change or performance in a business. So when talking about sales, is it the management? Is it the strategy? Is it the knowledge and skills of the people? Is it the organization structure? Have I got the right organization structure for the kind of selling that we're supposed to be doing in our organization? Is it to do with the skills of the salespeople and delivering what I'm expecting from those salespeople? Like we talked about the farming account managers. Have they got the skills to go in deep and wide? Why is it that this client that I've just taken on has lost 2 of their major accounts in the past year? Because they haven't got any account managers looking after those accounts. Yeah.
And this, you don't have the right team. This is an epiphany for me, because it's putting it in a way that maybe makes more sense to people. You have to have the right team people together. And you were talking about farmers and hunters. And that's the biggest mistake that I think that I see people make. Because let's say for these companies, and let's back up a second. So these companies are 10, 20, 50, $100 million companies. Based on what you've been able to accomplish and what we see, where we had, that was... if you look at that from the standpoint, our survey, which we've done at least 5 times, I found research of other third parties that have done the research. Chilton did the research in the 1970s, found the same thing. 90% of sales leads were dropped or mishandled. There was a woman by the name of Chatterjee that in the 80s did research. She was actually at the Wharton School and found the same thing. 90% of management-generated leads were dropped or mishandled. That the big picture that I want to take a step backwards for is that if you're $1 million company, are you losing $500,000, $1 million, $2 million worth of business that's coming in the back the door and you're missing out? Are you a $10 million company that really should be a $20 or $30 million company? And especially with business to business, when we called in, how do you know that we weren't your next $1 million business, where we're a big company, where we're going to be doing storage and needing services all the time? But what I want to get back to is that the farmers versus the hunters, you need a team of people that are going to work the opportunities, because salespeople, their cadences, they might be like, for instance, some of the deals that you're talking about where you're going after $250,000, $1 million deals. That might tie you up for a month. You might need to be hyper-focused on that. Meanwhile, people are calling in, and it takes 10 or 20 or 30 attempts to get that good prospect back on the phone. Yeah. Why are you giving that to that salesperson?